Hello and welcome to TNA Top 10 for February 6th, 2025. A little bit delayed because Terry forgot to hit the go live button. Again, we've had a week off, so I've got an excuse. Two-time and Terry here with Allison, Faye, and Andrew. How you doing, guys?
Terry, that'd be great if I could figure out why our shit ain't live on the X gimmick. What in the world is going on around here? This broadcast is not available. These motherfuckers got me cussing already.
Well, I've got a green check mark over here, so I don't know.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, so do I.
Okay,
I got us.
We're showing it's live now. Yeah. Okay, that's something went wrong. Now we're good.
Okay. Well, that was
you guys all got to see that live. Welcome, fans.
Yeah.
Welcome back after way too long because we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Apparently. This is what happens when we get a week off. We just forget everything.
Correct. And get yelled at by the other co-hosts of the podcast you do.
So is there anything to talk about this week? We've had
no, Terry. Let's wrap this up. I got to go to bed.
That's my line.
Okay, I got to go eat dinner because I don't do that early.
Well, let's talk about why we had the week off.
Yeah, you two go ahead because I haven't got all the details just from the group chat and the pictures and whatever.
He is so full of FOMO, it's insane.
After you, go ahead.
All right, so
what do you want to talk about? So much happened.
Just a little. We were together in Huntsville for a long weekend. Myself, Terry, our fourth leg of this team, Amy. We were all together and having a great time, and with a bunch of our Ad Free Show friends.
Yeah.
Yep. And I got to see Carla and Lauren and Everett and just everybody.
And Everett nailed the national anthem.
Dude, Everett did the national anthem on his guitar, and it was fantastic. Oh, Coach Keith is here. Hi, Coach Keith.
I saw the video. Keith, welcome. Nice to see you, buddy. He did hammer it out of the park.
He did.
Who the hell do you think he is?
We will have to hold off on some of the details now because we're going to talk about the Rumble later.
Yes.
And we don't want to give away those details, but
we can talk about the top guy, Tussle, a little.
Oh,
we all had roles again this time. Mm-hmm. I was the timekeeper because I said I wasn't going anywhere near the ring because if anybody who knows me, you don't want me anywhere near a ring. And then Terry, you were a manager. You were a heel manager.
Yep. I was.
Yeah. And Amy was what was she? Ring? No, she was a manager too.
She was
she ring announcer?
Yeah.
Okay, ring announcer. So yeah, we had a lot of fun.
And I got to be in two matches because.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was accused of throwing a foreign object in the ring, and that's a bunch of bullshit. It didn't happen. I don't know what people are saying.
He threw a Don Callis shoe. That was the first thing I thought of.
It would be JJ Dillon.
Oh, wow. And that
we keep it classy around here. If it was really the most dangerous shoe in professional wrestling, it was JJ Dillon's.
Then that dirty Lash LaRue hit my guy.
Oh yeah.
And got disqualified. So I don't know why they're pointing at us for all that stuff.
It was really nice to see Lash in the ring. I will say that. He's very, very nice. Oh, everybody's saying hi to each other. Oh, Andrew, look.
Yeah, so that was great.
We're missed. See?
Yes. So there was a camp, fantasy camp, and that kind of thing the first day. We did the tussle the second day leading into Royal Rumble.
Yeah, good stuff. We're joined by a couple of wrestling legends. It was pretty great.
Yeah, I saw Easy was there again. Jeff Jarrett was there. Yeehaw. Thank God he wasn't on television in Huntsville. Oh, wait.
I will say I had a really good time Thursday night. They had a comedy show with Cassio and Corey Ryan Forrester, who's one of my favorite people. And they had an opener.
At the Pop Bar, yeah.
At the Pop Bar, yes.
I didn't know existed here. You know.
It was a lot. I had a great time. I thought the show was great. They had a comedian who was autistic and was telling jokes about himself, and I was dying. I was like,
and we learned that none of these wrestling fans know how to act at a comedy show.
Correct. That is correct.
The hell you said.
I know you're shocked, Andrew. I know you're shocked. But yeah,
I had to be the voice of reason, which is never a good idea. Right. And the only reason I was the voice of reason in Chicago for this little event in 22, I believe it was, is because I was the fucking sober one. Everybody else was plastered and really.
Which event were you sober?
Huh?
Which event are we talking about?
The fucking hotel.
When we were in Chicago?
Yeah,
you were sober. You were California sober.
The first night. We
apparently
were there,
Alabama sober for all I know.
and we got James Sorensen walking around interrupting everybody, and we've got a bunch of loud people getting yelled at for being too loud. People are sleeping, and I had to be the voice of reason.
Side, I don't think we got in trouble in this hotel.
We didn't. Not that we weren't loud.
Yeah.
Because I heard I could identify at least one person down at breakfast from my second floor room before I even walked out the door.
Shout
it
out.
Definitely was. And she wasn't even being her level of loud. She was being normal.
But yeah.
Oh, no. The best question she ever asked was to me and Allison.
Oh, yeah.
And Megan knows. Was I really that loud drunk last night? Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. You were way out of pocket. Way out of pocket.
That's a Lindsay's wedding reference.
No, out of pocket people. That's all I'm saying. We know our kind. We can smell them.
But we had some good meals together.
We did. We absolutely did. We got some Terry. I almost vowed to never speak to Terry again because he made me walk uphill about a half a mile, and I'm pretty much hated him until we got the food, and then I'm like, all right, this was
it was worth it.
Yeah. What place was this?
That was Jack Brown's Burger Bar.
And it wasn't a burger that made me say that. Yeah. It was a Frank Brady. That's the name of the sandwich.
Sounds like a hot dog.
It does, and we asked. That's why we asked, but it wasn't a hot dog. It was a grilled cheese stuffed with mac and cheese, barbecue potato chips, and something else. I can't remember. So good. So good. You would have liked it.
But I got a bone-in ribeye with what was the side item?
The night before? Oh, the risotto. You got the Parmesan
risotto. Yes.
Yeah.
Great side for a steak. And then we finished it off at another Broken Egg Cafe to get a little brunch before the ladies hit the road.
That brunch was good.
Yeah, who the fuck eats at 4:00? I saw the agenda. What do you want?
We did.
Hold up. On Saturday,
cream for Pete's sake, folks.
We had at 2:30 on Saturday.
On Saturday, dinner was at 3:45, and they moved it back to 2:30. You want to talk about old people? We were the Golden Girls for damn sure.
Did you at least have cheesecake? Because he ain't the Golden Girls.
We did not. We should have swung by the Cheesecake Factory. But we were on the other side of town this time.
Yeah, since the Cheesecake Factory's not banned, there are some
especially that one. We can go to that one now.
Those details, yeah, we won't go into those details.
We can go to that one now. Real talk, Cheesecake Factory is ridiculous with the amount of items you can pick from.
Yeah,
insane.
Which this has nothing to do with where you guys went to eat, but I watched a reel. Shocker. And this guy is trying to eat every combination of cookout lunch that he could put together in a tray.
Goodness.
That's that store. That restaurant we don't have.
Yeah, so it would take him 300 years if he only ate lunch. It would take him 300 years to get every cookout lunch combination. Yeah.
Are you shitting me? All right, definitely.
Look at this menu. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I'm excited now. It's happening.
Yeah. So cookout is crazy. Charlie's, we have a reservation for.
We have a reservation
in Tampa.
Yes.
We have other reservations I haven't made yet.
But you're so that's all that matters.
Well, it's okay because you'll be to the fucking airport 3 days before we need to be there. So
speaking of airports, please give me a second to get up on my soapbox and talk about what I'm pissed about today. Seasoned traveler here. No shock to anybody. All right. There is etiquette when you're on a plane. It's pretty obvious, shut the bathroom door behind you, don't be a dick, things like that, right? Be nice
to
the
take off your fucking shoes.
Don't take off your shoes. Yes. But I have two top etiquette things on a plane that were both violated this weekend, and I am really upset about it.
Oh, she said violated.
I did. Violated. That's how I felt. One was I had a morning flight on Thursday, and I was exhausted, and I was like, "Oh, good, I'm gonna sleep." No, it was I was in the middle seat. No, I was in the end seat or middle seat, one or the other. The woman next to me refused to shut the window. She wasn't looking out it. She's like, "No, I just like the sunshine." Meanwhile, I'm blind because the sun is like right here in my eye. And I'm like, I'm like trying to hold a book. I'm holding up my iPad, trying to make her see that I'm blind. Didn't give a shit. So that was one. The other one is the reading light. So I was coming home. Nighttime flights, not an issue, right? I have no problem if somebody uses a reading light because they're doing something. Why would you? That's legit what it's there for. The woman next to me, I had a window seat this time. The woman in the middle decided to put all 3 lights on, and I'm like, "Oh no, ma'am, I'd like my light off. I'm gonna try to sleep a little." She goes, "Oh, well, I need all the lights on. I don't like sitting in a plane in the dark." Okay, well, that's not my problem, but that's my light, so I'm shutting it off. And I shut it off. She proceeds to ask the people in front of us and behind us to turn their lights on. I officially hate this woman, just so you know. She is on my list of people who I will find someday. Yeah. So that's my.
I officially hate this woman.
Oh man.
So you guys know I have chronic migraines, right? Not a surprise. Bright light is horrendous for me.
Yeah.
So flying this weekend was the freaking worst. Oh, and then I got home and there's snow and ice on the roads, and it took me almost an hour to get home from the airport. So that was awesome. I live 5 miles away.
What is my policy on snow and ice, Terry and Allison?
No.
Fuck it.
Fuck that shit. That is the policy. There is a reason I live in Eastern North Carolina, and this is about as far north as you're going to get my big ass these days in February.
Yeah.
But, we are.
Maybe we have seasonal compounds. One in the south for the winter and one in the north for the summer.
It could work. The Southwest is your best option based on your deal.
Don't worry about that. I don't care.
But we don't need to be that close to Las Vegas. Let's be honest.
No, God, no. Even I know that.
So today's date, February the 6th.
Yes.
Y'all know what that means. Next week, pitchers and catchers report for the baseball. We are 49 days away from opening day. The Pittsburgh Pirates, Paul Skeens, the New York Yankees, Garrett Cole. So not Jarrett. Motherfucker's gonna be Garrett this year. He's gonna win a Cy Young.
Better be.
Well, it's either
Max
him
Fried
or
will
Fried.
win a Cy Young for the Yankees.
There you go. Terry's gonna be like, called that
grumpy. For most teams, it's the 12th. Stupid Tampa Bay, it's the 11th because they're idiots. And a few other teams, it's the 13th. But pitchers and catchers report. The Yankees starting rotation. Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Luis Hill, Marcus Stroman, Carlos Rodon, Clark Schmidt. The closers, Luke Weaver, Hill, I forget his first name, and Devin Williams. So they signed Mr. Changeup Allison to $2.85 million for a year the other day. So we'll see if he can figure out how to throw another pitch other than a changeup. But that Devin Williams and Luke Weaver combination for closing a game is going to be pretty strong.
I will take it.
Cole wants 5-man rotation because he wants to pitch. But
I know. Well, what if you have a 6-man rotation where he goes in every 5th day?
That's going to be what they can do, or they can pull out Rodon, and they can pull out Stroman. Yeah. They can rotate them.
I mean, I don't see the big
Back in my day, they had a 4-man rotation.
Yeah, well, we're old, Terry.
But there is no reason for him to think that because he's the, quote, captain of the pitching staff that they need a 5-man rotation. You've got 6 capable pitchers of pitching. Now, the only other alternative, in my opinion, would be to move Stroman to relief.
A long reliever or just relief?
2 innings max, because that's how they play
like
the
a
game.
middle, Okay.
Yeah. 2 innings max. Now, Austin Wells, starting catcher. We sent the other one away. So.
But I think if you think about how they've been playing lately, the starting pitchers aren't getting more than 5-6 innings, so you need a good middle reliever.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they don't let them go anymore.
Stroman fits the bill, particularly.
Thank you.
Particularly if the Yankees can build a lead, Stroman works in that position, and that is what she said. But
she said. That's what she said.
But Stroman works in that position, as does Rodon. That's why I'm saying they could both alternate in that middle reliever position. But they were talking about dealing Rodon away, as well as Stroman, and then they haven't. So, but Terry is correct. We have 2 Cy Young awards and the reigning award winners potentially, and the reigning MVP in Luis Hill on the or Rookie of the Year, excuse me, not MVP, on the team. So there you go.
I'll take it. I'm ready.
Oh, and we got some help. And we got some help in the outfield. So,
well, I mean,
Bellinger will be playing center.
Will he? Okay.
Dominguez is left, and they're moving Judge to right.
To right. Well, he likes right though, so that's good.
What's up for debate now is first and third. Jazz is second, Soto's shortstop. So at least that's what the last I saw from Aaron Boone. Terry, the Braves, led by Chris Sale, Ronaldo Lopez, Spencer Schwellenbach. That's a Nebraska player, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a name.
It's got to be
Waldrop and Grant Holmes. What's that?
It's got to be a Nebraska guy.
Didn't he pitch for Nebraska? I'm serious about that.
Oh, I don't know.
I want to say Schwellenbach pitched for Nebraska. He may not have, but I think he did. 2022.
Chris Sale is the classic Braves guy who his career was over. The Braves signed him, and he dominates.
I could see it happening. It could, yeah.
Now, if we can get the whole rotation pitch.
I mean, Terry, don't ask for too much, all right?
Yeah, you're being ridiculous, sir.
Be happy with one good player, all right?
Particularly since the Mets paid all that money for Juan Soto to not win the division. I said it. I'm in it.
Well, they're the Mets. I mean, they spend a lot of money and don't do much. They're the Texas A&M of MLB.
As a true freshman, Schwellenbach started 44 of Nebraska's games, batted .275. Damn, am I good? If it's Nebraska,
you knew it. You knew it.
But yeah, so Terry, that's where we're at. Pitchers and catchers report next week. Allison and I report to spring training March the 14th. We got the Pirates in a split team, and we got the Red Sox. So.
And I'll be headed to Atlanta March 14th. Oh, yeah. Probably.
That's right.
Interesting.
Look at that. We'll all be away that weekend.
March 14th is also the anniversary of my sobriety. Year number 7. So.
Well, it's also my little Pie Man's
I'll drink
birthday.
to that.
It's my nephew's birthday, who I call Pie Man because it's Pie Day.
Mm-hmm.
314.
The nerds would love that shit. I'm outnumbered over here, although I am a numbers person. Ooh, speaking of which, I sold a 913-day-old car today in inventory.
Insane.
I've never done that in 14 years. That is phenomenal.
Insane.
913.
Amy's very proud of you.
Yeah. Well, she's also crazy. Oh, by the way, Amy, the update on the doctor is I haven't been yet. You're welcome. But Terry, what about the updates on our teams? You know, the ones we care about, because this is our show, along with Allison. She's going to take a 2-minute timeout over here while we discuss the not football.
The what? The not
football. It's not really football. Look what I led off in the notes with for you, sir. You have bragging rights. Number one.
So there was a list that I think I sent it to you showing the teams that spent the most money in NIL, and Nebraska and Auburn were both on that list. And there were some teams that you would expect to be up there that aren't up there, that aren't spending nearly as much money. Some big names, but that's the way it is in 2025. You got to pay to get the guys.
Nebraska,
that's what she said.
Exactly. Pay to get the guy. You heard her.
Wow.
Nebraska valued at $961 million.
What?
$961 million. They just paid for the whatever side he plays guard from Notre Dame that was just in the championship game.
Right.
Signed $1 million NIL with the University of Nebraska.
There's only one guy who came from Notre Dame that I care about, and we already talked about him today.
Yeah, well, you and Amy both. No.
Ooh, hot guy with that hair.
Anyway, so Terry, I did it in wrong order, but NCAA recruiting. Auburn, number 8 in the On3 rankings, number 4
Good job.
in 24/7. Oh, you about to see a disparity because this shit is weird. Go ahead, Terry.
And Auburn's a 5-7 team doing this.
That's
And
insane.
Auburn has had 4 straight losing seasons if you count the bowl games. So
It's
money
money.
talks. And
It's
you know,
money.
we are family at Auburn. I think we've put that out there quite a bit. And that's what's bringing them in. Not the money.
Not
Now-
no, it's not.
I'm gonna set this up for Terry. Y'all criticize Brucey Pearl when he turned that fucking plane around to begin the season. But Auburn is 20-1.
That's
20-1, facing the number 6 Florida Gators this weekend.
That's crazy. And just so everybody knows, this is basketball, not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
20
you switched really
Although
fast.
Terry has a point about the comparison of basketball and football at the University of Auburn that he sent me.
I do. I don't remember.
Something about we're really good when he said the guy was like, you're like, oh, we're a 5-7
Oh.
football team.
Oh yeah, somebody put a thing out that said only one team has 20 wins in basketball and 5 wins in football, and that is such an embarrassing thing. Who gives a
That's
shit
yeah.
about 5
That's
wins in football. Oh my goodness.
Duke doesn't have 20 wins because they had 5 wins in football too.
I guess at the time they didn't.
Yeah,
Duke's got a couple of losses at least.
but that was hilarious.
that's
And, but Bruce Pearl has got him set up. The bad thing is when you're number 1, there's a target on your back.
Well, and I got to admit, even though I love watching them play, there's a couple of guys on Auburn that they're little jackasses, and they'll
Ooh,
mess
did
with
he
the
do-
other players and
Do the flip flop and fly?
Oh
Is that
yeah,
what
a
you're
lot of
telling me?
that, you know. So I get it if you're an opponent. I see that, but you know what? I'm a fan, so I love it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Well, and Terry is not an SEC fan, has been well established on the football show. He roots for Auburn. So once Auburn is out, it falls under IDGAF. And if you need help, instant message me or DM me. I said instant message. God, how about aging me? DM me. I'll explain to you what that
And
means later.
I used to kind of pull for Vanderbilt, but not anymore. Those bastards.
Well, not after they beat you.
Not till this guy finally leaves after all the lawsuits. And
Oh yeah,
stuff.
Diego. Yeah, Diego's gonna leave. Now speaking of leaving, Nebraska's volleyball coach, after 25 seasons, 4 national championships, 8 finals, 12 Final Fours,
Jeez.
14 conference championships rather. National Coach of the Year 3 times, Big 12 Coach of the Year 4 times, Big 10 Coach of the Year 3 times, and an overall Nebraska record 722-103. For those of you playing along at home, that's 775. Not quite as good as Auburn. But John Cook has retired from the University of Nebraska. This is the man who dreamed to play Nebraska volleyball on the football field and put 92,000 people in the Nebraska stadium for a volleyball game. That's
insane.
this guy. That's this guy. He's retired.
I mean, that's fantastic.
And he's succeeded by Danny Busboom Kelly, who's his former player and has been the head coach of Louisville for the last 8 years. And
Nice.
Louisville has not finished short of the Elite 8 since she has been the head coach.
Wow.
So, because they do it just like NCAA basketball.
Mhm.
And then there's the football team. We don't have time for Kool-Aid. Follow me on social. You've gotten it all week. But they're number 21 on On3. They're number 5 on 24/7. And number 1 in the Big Ten. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. So,
No,
number
that's weird.
21 and number 5. But the bottom line is it's a top 25 recruiting class for
Yeah.
signing class too for Matt Rule.
I think we both agree that 24/7, those are the smart guys that really know how to rank these things.
Yeah, because Auburn is 4 and Nebraska is 5. And Nebraska was a 7-6 team, and Auburn was 5-7. So what me and Terry have done with our powers of deduction is somebody got paid, and that's why we have all these players now. But seriously, Nebraska has built a monstrosity of a football team with good coaching that if they don't win next year, it wouldn't shock me to see Matt Rule out on his ass. 10 games. 10 games. Calling it now. But
right.
you know who doesn't win, Allison, is All Elite Wrestling. They're horrible. Tragic.
Well, I got to say, I attended Dynamite last week, so that
At the Von Braun Civic Center.
At the Von Braun, well, the Civic Center part, that's the '80s name. We've taken the Civic part off of there. I guess it sounds
The Von Braun Center.
Civic. So the VBC, we were there for Dynamite
I have to
and
be
Collision.
careful when I say that. Did you hear him, Allison? He said VBC. If I say it, you know what.
You can't say it, Andrew. You cannot say it. No.
But I mean, I thought Collision was better than Dynamite, at least being in the crowd. The Dynamite main event was Mercedes
FTR?
Moné,
Oh, no.
and it just went flat last
The
week.
hell you say?
Yeah, but then
know we're shocked.
Collision had FTR and this Mid-South street fight thing, and that ended up pretty good, other than the fact that it was on the other side and we couldn't see it for the first part, but that ended up pretty good. So I would say Collision was better than Dynamite, at least sitting my butt in the seat.
And you got to see
Right.
Adam Priest, right? That was
I
kinda
did. Adam Priest started out the show and got
That's pretty great.
squashed by some guy
That's
in a
all right.
big Vader mask, but
He got
you
himself
know,
on TV. That's all that
but
matters.
then then he got with Two Time and Terry,
That's right.
and he got screwed over by the ref
That's
in the
right.
match at the tussle.
What terrible referee was it? Was it that awful Pondwater Dave?
No, it was not. It was a different one.
Yeah,
I
but
won't mention
Pondwater
names.
Dave can't see shit out of one. Is blind in one eye and can't see shit out of the other. Notoriously out of position. Doesn't know how to count to 3 in a consistent manner and cadence. And I've said all of that because I know he's going to listen back to this tomorrow on his. So I'm gonna get a text message. It's gonna be wonderful.
He did say the other day on his show that we'll talk about later, but he said he really missed our show dropping on Tuesday.
No, well,
But
blame the
you're gonna get
scheduling.
used to Friday.
And it's going to change again, maybe. So Terry, because I am that guy, and I just love to hate watch AEW.
Mhm.
There was a Memphis street fight in Huntsville, not Memphis, but we had FTR taking on John Moxley and that awful Wheeler Yuta. Somebody tell him to shave that beard or at least tame that bastard.
Yes.
Guess what type of match John Moxley and Claudio are going to compete in against the Switchblade Jay White and the Copeland or whatever we're calling that
Is
stupid.
it going to be the same thing over
It
again?
is a no holds barred, no rules, Aussie under whatever did he call it?
Isn't that all they do? But like,
Yeah,
why are they bothering saying no holds barred, no rules, no that? Every match that John Moxley and this Rampage group is in, whatever the frig their name is.
Should we come up with our
It's
favorite historic
like-
names for street fights in wrestling?
That could be cool because this one's like the Brisbane Brawl or something.
Oh, good
But
lord.
basically
Oh, because they're
it's-
going to be, yeah.
in Brisbane. But basically, it's a no holds barred match, and this is going to be on Grand Slam Down Under Australia, which was originally advertised as a pay-per-view, but Tony Khan says it wasn't. But we all have the post where it was, and then they decided to schedule it the same day as the NBA All-Star Game. So this wrestling is going to take place after the NBA All-Star Game next week.
Tape delay.
Oh, Allison, you're laughing, but your ass ain't going to watch it Saturday because it's going to not.
No, I'm going to be asleep.
It's not going to start till 10 or 11 o'clock.
Oh, God, no. I will be asleep for an hour. Come on. I'm old.
Yeah. That's why we're on a 90-minute window here, folks. Allison needs a beauty rest and has a child that doesn't know what sleeping in means. So anyway, we love him, but
6 a.m. is happy wake up time.
yeah, let's get out of bed. So anyway, last night they followed up they're paid off the Ricochet versus Swerve thing. I actually like Ricochet winning because now you can go to Revolution and have Swerve just beat the shit out of him. And he won with a low blow when he countered the stomp. So Tony Storm's imitation of Mariah May. Allison, go.
I cannot express to you enough how talented this woman is. She had it down pat. Her mannerisms, her way of talking, how she does her hair. I loved every minute, and she looked phenomenal in that outfit. And anybody who tells me she looks fat, I'm gonna punch you in the face. So
here's the only two things that you couldn't have told the difference. Number one, the hair extensions were obvious.
Yes.
Because they were different color.
Yeah.
Number two, she has a fatter ass than Mariah May.
She sure does.
And that, other than that, though, the face, the cadence, the voice, it was money. And I mean, and anyone, don't cancel me. I mean, fatter ass is a compliment, but
no, that's definitely a compliment. Trust me.
There's a reason she uses a hip attack as her finish.
There is.
Power driver. Don't judge me. But the thing is, the number three, lack of boobs.
All right, fair.
I was thinking that Bober says it.
You really just couldn't tell the difference, though. If they had kept the camera wide, you wouldn't have been able to tell which one was which. But
that's why I was confused, because at first I wasn't listening. I was just like watching out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, that's Mariah May. I'm like, that's not Mariah May, is it? And it got me, and I'm like, holy shit, that's how good it is.
It was really good. It was really well done. I saw some people were like, don't let Sawyer Rex hear you. I don't even know who that
is. That's from last year after the GCW show we went to. Oh, don't. We'll talk about it after. I'll fill you in.
Sawyer Rex don't want none. I will have you all know that I ain't scared of shit. And I know that because I grew up in a family where my parents defrosted hamburger in a fucking microwave. Don't start with me. Is Sawyer Rex somebody I need to worry about?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
How do I not know this person?
You might have missed everything that happened. This was well documented in the Kick Out Crew podcast. So I don't
listen to the Kick Out Crew.
Yeah. So yeah, it was something that happened, I think, between one of those guys and her, and it just got blown up like insane.
Oh,
you remember.
I do know this. Yeah. James Elkerai, my man, complimented this woman and she took it the wrong way.
Yep.
Don't own it just because you have a vagina, chickadee. I mean, God, he was complimenting you. Get the fuck over. James Elkerai is about as innocent as a little puppy. Loud, little barky, but
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Fuck that girl. And not like in a fun way. Now, where were we? On the Dynamites here.
We were talking about Toni Storm and how awesome she was.
Yeah. What about MJF and Dustin Rhodes? Like, I like Dustin Rhodes. Nicest wrestler I've ever met other than Arn Anderson.
I just don't understand what they're doing with MJF. Like,
it doesn't make sense. Terry, do you have an opinion on them taking these 50-plus-year-old legends and putting them with one of the last real heels in the business?
They are wasting him because I'm on record saying he was the best thing about AEW for a long time, and now he's just kind of another thing that's happening.
He's a fill the timer. That's what he is. He's there just to fill the time, and it's ridiculously sad.
And the real problem I have with MJF is I get the shtick as insults and stuff. I mean, but if he's doing a 1980s insult comic gimmick, it's about done.
Yeah,
it's about done.
Yeah.
It's not original anymore. I'd like to see him actually perform and wrestle and do something meaningful. But
Bober says MJF is the best true heel since Piper.
Pump your brakes. Rick Rude was pretty good there, Bobes. Pump your brakes. Pump your brakes.
Rick Rude was very good.
Rick Rude was very good.
Yeah, pump them.
Like, did I hope that he had my face on his tights one day? Maybe. Wait.
That's what she said.
There you go.
There we go. That's what she said. Now for the real wrestling, the
Yes.
WWE, the Royal Rumble.
Let's get into it.
So 4 matches: women's tag match, world title, men's Rumble. Very clean, very easy. There were people that complained about how long the show was. I thought
Oh,
it was
no.
fine.
It was perfect.
It was perfect, especially sitting there the way we were doing it. It was great.
Yeah, you guys watched it with a group of people. I watched it with the other.
Yeah, and we
20.
had the game. We'll kind of get into that a little bit. So the way we did this, everybody's name was in a big barrel, and whenever somebody would come out, or right before somebody would come out, they would holler out a name, and you go write your name on the board. And if your guy won, then you got whatever prize it was. So
It was
for the
$100.
first one, well,
It was
the first
$100
one was
and a plaque.
$100,
Yep.
and then the second one, you could whoever won the 100 the first time could trade in for like the grand prize to win the grand prize in the second one, or they could just take their $100. And nobody's going to take the $100 because the grand prize was like $2,000 and 2 WrestleMania tickets and a belt and all this stuff. So you're going to do that. Unfortunately, nobody won the grand prize, but it was fun
Well,
to participate.
We'll talk about this later. She had the women's Rumble winner, and I was very happy because it was a new top gal, so yay. But then she had number 30 for the men's.
Pretty
That's
good
what she
number
got.
because it was Logan
So
Paul.
we'll talk about that when we get to that match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Pretty
women's
good.
Rumble.
Okay. You get to go first because you're a lady.
When do we ever go with those things? Those old fashioned.
I got yelled at for being an anti-feminist the other night.
Oh, give me a
so
break. All right. Anyway, I'll
That's
go
my
first.
story, and I'm sticking to it. For anyone that doesn't watch the Medusa show, go back and watch this past week. Medusa and I literally motherfuck each other.
Well, to death. All right. So women's Rumble. For me, worst match of the night. Highlights.
Worst match of the night?
Yes, that's what I said, and I'm sticking to it.
Woo! Okay.
And do you want to know why?
Go ahead.
It was entrance, and I'm gonna get the numbers wrong, so forgive me. Like 3 to 10 were all NXT folks, and I'm just like, this sucks. I don't care. You know, none of them are gonna win. You gotta mix it up. It was like one after the other, and I'm like, no.
I will say this, in agreement with you, the men's Rumble was far more star-studded, particularly once they hit number 15 and went
Correct.
back half.
But
Yeah,
for
I
the
don't think
women-
that there was anybody in the women's that you could believably think was going to win it other than the winner.
Correct.
Nobody to me competed for my expectations.
I'm going to get on my soapbox about Charlotte in a minute. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, I was very pleased to see Alexa Bliss back. I was wearing her shirt. I was very excited. I wanted to see her back, but the lack of the big pop. They should have kept Charlotte a secret if they weren't gonna have Becky or AJ Lee. I'm sorry, that's my opinion, but it was a letdown because you kept waiting for somebody exciting. Like, I love Trish Stratus. Nikki Bella's great. They're not exciting to me. Like, they're not gonna make my, blood pressure go up when they pop out. Sorry.
No, you're fine. But here's the other problem, and I mean
That's
this
what she said.
genuinely. Yeah, blood pressure definitely
That
goes
was
up. Here's the problem I see it, especially with the women's Rumble. One of the things about the Rumble is that the music, when it hits, sets the tone for the reaction from the audience. Nobody knows the women's music. And if it's
Not at all.
NXT, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. That's spot
That
on,
was-
Andrew.
And that was
Spot on.
funny because the way we were doing it, Casio had a microphone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then when the music hits, they didn't show the name for a few seconds either, which kind of didn't help you because he would go, "It's her." We didn't know who the hell was coming out. because
Mhm.
it took several seconds after the music hit to figure out.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get on my
You just
soapbox
reminded
about
me.
it.
Hold on. I took notes from the table we were sitting at watching the Rumble
God.
because we had so many good comments. All right, so these are the ones from the women's match. Oh, you could tell that she's from Jersey. She looks like a gerbil on speed. I can't even spell her last name. When it was Amy's turn to pick, they called her up, and Cassier goes, "It's Arn Anderson!" And we all died laughing. We have to wait until the name pops up because no one knows who it is, and they just
Okay.
say, "It's her!" Don't worry about the spelling. Is this Julia or Gulia? Like, nobody could figure that out. And then the last one for the women's was, this isn't energy, it's Met energy.
A lot of that.
Yeah.
So December 1999, when they did the taping, it was played on, well, actually, it was December 98, played on January the 4th, 1999. Mick Foley wins the world title from The Rock. One of the biggest pops in the history of the business that actually shook the cameras, could be felt through your home, was when Austin comes out. The glass breaks. The people go bananas. He'd been off TV.
Mm-hmm.
Austin's glass breaking. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Triple H's King of Kings, the game, all of the music, they're all very, very distinguished with what the Undertaker's gong, for Pete's sake. You know who's coming to the ring. You react appropriately.
And the
Not the
soft
case.
intro when you know John Cena's coming out, because his doesn't hit real immediately,
Yeah.
but you can tell it's about to hit.
But to
Yeah,
be fair, I do know Rhea's music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be ones you know, like
Couple of
immediately you know Trish Stratus. If you watch during the Bella Dens, you know Nikki Bella. You know Rhea's, but Rhea wasn't in there. They've changed the damn Judgment Days and Live so much, I couldn't pick it out of the lineup, to be honest with you.
And other people know Charlotte's more than I do, because the intro part of Charlotte's is not really noticeable.
No, and coming in at number 27.
Yeah.
That's a really good point, though, about the music. Like, I did not think about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Well, and this is the one event where the music matters.
Absolutely.
You know, every run-in in the world in wrestling is predicated on them hitting the music first so that the fans get up and get the reaction. But if the fans don't know what the music is because you're just creating it off of some bullshit auto-tune app and not having Jim Johnston write the fucking song, it doesn't matter anymore. On Charlotte, there's a lot of people on the internet upset that she won the Rumble.
Why?
Who should have won the Rumble?
Win. Yeah.
I'm not upset she won. I just wish there was a believable opponent in the Women's Rumble that could lead us to any kind of expectation of anything else.
Well, the other thing was, Terry, that, you know, she's automatically inserted back in. She's the 14-time women's champion and one of the best female wrestlers in the world. You're going to keep her on ice? You're obviously taking Bianca and Jade to WrestleMania because Bianca wasn't even in the Final Four. Rhea is doing her thing. She's the champ.
Right.
You know, Tiffy Time is the champ. So, I had to step away.
Reset it.
Yes,
she had and I saw that the doll has a 6 on its eye now.
Does it? And her jacket says "Fiend" with an R in there, so it says "Friend for Life."
That was that was awesome.
They didn't show that
was
on
a great
TV.
jacket.
They didn't show that on TV.
That was a great jacket. She signed her contract that day, reportedly, because, you know, they were supposedly so far behind.
Right.
She was never going to AEW, folks. Spoiler alert, Triple H girl, all her success was in WWE. They allowed her to be off for so long without firing her or penalizing her or whatever. So, yeah. But on the Charlotte thing, does she go against Rhea or does she go against, because she's not going against Julia, or does she go against, and Roxanne Perez being the last eliminated, what does that do for anybody? Not real sure, other than maybe get her a spot in the Elimination Chamber.
I mean, she got the record for longest time in a Rumble.
And she got the record for the longest time in the Rumble, but in all fairness, for the women, it's only been since 2018.
Right.
So, on the Charlotte thing, people say Tiffy's not a babyface. Are you fucking kidding? Let Charlotte be Cersei Lannister. Be the queen.
Oh, God. Yes.
And that she's the original. and Tiffy's the imitator. And Tiffany Stratton is over with the audience. WWE has not flipped her to be a babyface yet. But you put Queen Circe Charlotte Flair up against Tiffany Stratton, it's going to work. Triple H, I'm available for booking. Call me. Because what you're doing right now is shitty because her promo sucked Monday. Anyway, there's a pretty good tag team title match too until the ending.
So which one was that? That was who?
DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns until the Street Profits came out with the crutch. And it was 1-1.
That's true.
I think I was sick during that match.
It was I didn't know you were sick until the next day.
I know.
But it's one of those things. Was that the second match?
Yeah.
So it's like you have a Royal Rumble match, and you gotta bring something next, or it's gonna be a huge letdown. And that's the way I felt. It was almost just like, let's go take a break. No matter how good the match actually was, that's what it felt like.
I thought it was a fantastic match for a 2 out of 3 falls match. The problem with a 2 out of 3 falls match is it goes 1-1, and then they go to the third fall. I mean, except the one time I know that it didn't was Starrcade '93. Austin beat Dustin Rhodes 2 straight falls for the United States.
I would love that. I would love to see more of that.
Yeah, but that's the only time I know that it happened is when Austin. He won 1 by DQ and he won 1 with the hand on the tights or whatever against Dustin Rhodes. But that's the only one that I know of. Now, I think the Motor City Machine Guns are a great tag team. I think they're 10 years too late to the WWE. DIY is a homegrown tag team that were really just thrown together at NXT. Black and Gold guys. Of course, the Gargano Ciampa storyline was fantastic. Street Profits, I'm good with. They're it's just getting the tag team to matter now.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that is. But I thought it was fine. I thought the endings kind of sucked because the Street Profits just came out of nowhere. And you see him hit him with the crutch and cost him the match and whatever. But then what didn't suck was that ladder match. What sucked was the bumps in that ladder match.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
That ladder match was great.
Yep. My favorite line that was said during that match was, "We love Cody, but it's time. Be an asshole. Turn heel." We were waiting.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I don't think he'll be Homelander. I know everybody's pining for it, but I just don't think he'll be Homelander. Now the bumps Kevin Owens took that made that match.
Oh yeah.
That one bump, and you guys know what I'm talking about. The ladder's open, it's on the mat, and he does the flat back. Bober didn't like the tag match, apparently.
No.
But it's okay. But that bump, the damn Alabama slam to end the match was crazy. That shot of Cody looking down, or them with the angle WWE production doesn't miss. I didn't like Sami Zayn involved in it. I get they moved on the next night and Sami gets attacked by Kevin Owens, but I didn't really care for that much.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts, Terry, on the ladder match? Because ladder matches can be a little dull and a little boring. I thought this one was one of the better ones that wrestling's put on in a while.
I think having Kevin Owens in it, that's a good guy to have in there because any match like that with KO in it, he brings it up a notch, and I thought it was needed. Even though I don't think Kevin Owens has much of a chance to beat Cody there, the fact that the ladder match happened and you got KO, because like you said, he's just going to take abuse.
Well, and that's the thing. He was taking the bumps. Cody wasn't.
Right.
But it's also believable with Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
And I don't mean believable, but I mean he sells really well, but not to the point where you're like, oh, he's selling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's not sloppy. It's
correct.
Not sloppy.
There you go. That's what I was
but yeah, that Alabama slam was wicked with the broken ladder, the selling, the dead sell he did do there. The blood spot was appropriate. I mean, it was good. It was very good. And now Cody and, well, potentially, Jay, but I don't think so. I think it's going to be the Elimination Chamber winner in that one. But anyway, The main event.
And well,
Go
yeah.
ahead, Terry. You're okay. Go ahead.
No. Keep going because I was going to have a post men's rumble comment, so I need to hold off on that.
Well, I don't like the way people talking about Jay either. Yeet, and I'll get there in a second.
I agree.
But the men's rumble was full of star power on that
was.
back half.
They loaded them up. I mean, they went back to back to back, and you think that's like, oh, that's a big time name. The next one's going to be a letdown, but no,
Yep.
they put 3 or 4 in a row. That was just big time.
Yeah, Roman actually came out first, and then you had Punk and Rollins in succession.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. And of
But
course,
good.
Penta with the bad spot coming over, did he touch or did he not touch? Both feet on the floor. They put him in a spot, though, 43 minutes in the Rumble. So they're featuring him pretty heavy there in WWE.
I wish I could remember who I said this about, but I said he's a winner in the hearts of those who love hair. And I can't for the life of me remember who it was. It was somebody in that last match. And I don't know who I said that about. It was a great comment. In the Rumble. Somebody in the Rumble had great hair, and I don't remember. Oh, it was AJ Styles.
AJ Styles was a great surprise, too, because
That
he was
was
not advertised.
Yep.
What about Speed taking that fucking spear from Braun Breaker? Good Lord.
Okay. So it looked great when we were watching it. It looks 10 times better in the video from the back. Holy guys.
30 million views.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
30 million views.
Seriously, is he okay?
He said he's never getting in a WWE ring again. He said that on a live stream the other night. But he had road rash on his knee. When Breaker hit him, he didn't tuck his chin, and he bounced his head right off that damn mat. And tuck your chin, don't bite your tongue, folks. It ain't fucking ballet when someone 250 pounds runs you over. Because he might be $140.
Yeah. And I think people were about to be really pissed that we had another, nobody in the show who was going to do nothing like Pat McAfee last year. I'm pretty sure that that's what everybody was leaning to. Like, oh, great, we're going to be pissed again. And then he gets just blindsided like that. And we're all like, yeah, we're good. That's good. That's good. Thanks.
Oh, that clip it's insane. I've sent it around. And then they've got it on the Twitter. I think WWE released it where it's multiple views of it. Holy shit. Because you get the aerial and then you get the view you were talking about from the back, and then you get the one we saw on TV. And I think there's 2 or 3 others. And I'm like, damn, that guy just ate it.
And supposedly he wasn't going to be in the match, right? So because Tozawa or whatever his name is, got
Tozawa. Yeah, you had it right. Tozawa.
Yep. Good stuff.
But yeah, that was good. The first half of the Rumble was basically useless for the men, other than to showcase some of these up and comers.
Right.
But when the tribal chief came out, Heyman's doing his thing, and Heyman stayed at ringside, which I don't know if everybody caught that.
I did not.
But there's not real managers in wrestling anymore. But Heyman was at ringside when both Punk and Roman got eliminated. Of course, Punk eliminates Roman and Rollins, and that shot of Roman and looking over his shoulder at the Rumble, it's so good. That production shot where he's looking and Rollins is right there. He's just
they're really good at.
It is WWE production is second to none. They did not miss that shot. I made that point to Medusa the other day. She's like, yeah, they're pretty good. I'm like, pretty good. Pretty good. Part of the storytelling is the cameraman landed on Roman staring a hole through Seth Rollins right before they went at it. Pretty good. I told you. Listen to the episode of Trash Talk the other night. We were on it. But then Punk gets eliminated by Logan Paul, which was shocking.
Logan Paul came out at number 30.
Yeah.
So Danielle had picked number 30, and she was like, fuck. Great, I'm not winning. Well, Logan Paul was one of the last 4.
Right.
Yep.
So
he had
when
a
it
great-
got down to like the last like 6 or 7, she started realizing she was still in it. And she started to freak out. And it was very exciting for the group. It was. We wanted her to win, but not Logan Paul. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Jay wins. So I'm going to tell you guys this. This was my experience. I want to hear how y'all thought. When he dumped Roman and Rollins, I thought Punk was winning. I called Punk to win the Rumble way before it started. I think I said it last week or 2 weeks ago when we predicted who we thought was gonna win. And it pains me to say CM Punk. Then all of a sudden he gets dumped out, and I'm like, oh shit, they're deciding to go to Cena. And then it was Jey Uso. This was a genuine surprise that was not necessarily force-fed to the audience. This was a genuine surprise. This wasn't Batista in 14. This wasn't Roman in 15. This wasn't H in 16. This was a genuine surprise as to who won the Royal Rumble. I thought it was really well done because I thought Cena was going to dump him with the attitude adjustment. You know, I thought he was going to get him there at the end. And then Jay just pushes him. And all of a sudden Cena's out, you know. I will say this about John Cena, as Michael Cole continues to call him the greatest of all time. He did not look good in this match. Was not a fan of his performance in the Royal Rumble. So, for whatever.
He's getting up there and he's starting to show a little bit of age. But I think with Cena, they've got something planned this year. You know, I mean, he was foreshadowing in his promo a couple of weeks ago about if I don't win the Rumble, I win King of the Ring, or
That's
I'll win Money in the Bank. So I'm thinking he's going to win something, Money in the Bank or something. So that finish did kind of help whatever's coming for him. But Jey Uso winning, and we've talked about it, it's like we've seen him in big matches. We've seen him lose a lot of big matches. So what do they have ahead here? No idea.
He's not losing at WrestleMania. Gunther promo Monday night ensures that Jey Uso is not losing at WrestleMania. People can say whatever they want to say about Jey Uso, but WWE under the leadership of Triple H is not going to do what they did with Daniel Bryan and push him under the rug and then have to go back to a triple threat that they did at Mania 30. They're going to give Uso his moment. The fans reacted. It was genuine. It was live. And then the next night on Netflix, thank God for WWE, he gets through his song and they hit it a second time and the fans celebrate some more. That's organic. That's when wrestling is really, really fun. That's not forced. So his reward will be to be the world champion. Will he have a long run? Absolutely not. But he will win the world championship. And the reason I say WWE tilted their hand is Gunther comes out and says, don't pick me. You're not big enough. You're not box office enough. I've already beat you. I'll make your life miserable. Don't pick me. He's going to pick Gunther and he's going to beat Gunther. And he's going to beat him with the Uso splash in the middle of the ring in Las Vegas.
That's like telling a girl that a guy she likes is a bad boy. Are you joking?
Yeah. You're just fanning the fire.
Exactly.
The fire.
You're just accelerating what's going to happen. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. But that's kind of what I thought. I think Jey Uso is a good pick for it. And if the alternative is Roman, Rollins, and Punk, because Punk needs someone to carry him at WrestleMania, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
So, but the tribal chief should win. Hell of a heel turn by Seth Rollins, too, with the double stomp on the floor.
No issues with that.
Yeah. That was a good move.
Yeah.
If only he had the big giant shoes on when he did it. That would have been the only thing.
That would have been a lot better. But I mean, that's three very talented individuals. Then you got Drew McIntyre in there. WrestleMania is going to be stacked from top to bottom. Then the people saying, well, can Jey Uso and Gunther close the main event? They don't have to. Night one in Las Vegas with all the bright lights in Las Vegas City. Open the show, Jey Uso versus Gunther.
Could you imagine? That would be fantastic.
All the way to the ring in Las Vegas.
I love that. I love that idea.
I'd love to see the bloodline storylines go, where this takes that, because there's
Oh.
so much there.
We
and
forgot-
Mysterio
we-
still wins.
Yeah.
We forgot Jacob.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's not where I was going, but go ahead.
What a showing. That guy has it. Anybody who wants to know what it looks like, watch
Mhm.
Jacob Fatu. From the shit talking promo before he gets to the ring to what he does in the ring. It's insanity. He has it. You can't
Absolutely.
always describe what it is. That is a visual representation of it to the nth degree.
I agree. I forgot what I was going to talk about. What were we talking about?
I didn't mean to.
No, this is my
Wrestling.
ADHD brain. It's my ADHD brain. If I don't say it right away, I forget it. And that's what happens. It's okay. Oh, no, wait. We were talking about. Okay, I know what it is. No, I don't. I lost it again.
The Mania card is what we were talking about.
I know.
Right.
No, we were
I
talking
said
about.
something about the bloodline. And
Okay, I got it. That's it. That
Okay.
was it. Okay. So as y'all see, and thank you to somebody in one of my Twitter DM chats that sent this, the new WWE 2K25, they released after Royal Rumble, I believe, the final boss to be played in the game. And there's like a 2-minute promo for The Rock. And it's all about final chapter unlocked, this and that. And I'm like, it's happening. We will
For
see
the-
The Rock actually wrestle like it.
For the gamers out there, the bargain price of $129.99 will get you the Bloodline features in
That's
WWE
insane, really?
2025. Yeah, it's
That's how much?
$130. It's $130. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's nuts.
Here's
But-
a little tip just to let you know, and I saved a lot of money this way. Get your games Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I was up late
Terry, God
and
bless you.
downloading
Allison
some
can't even
games.
deal with
I
that.
saved a lot of money on some video games that night.
That would
She-
give me a heart attack, Terry.
She can't even deal with that. I am fully expecting March the 14th. Are you in the car yet? Are you on the way to? Are you at the parking? Have you
I
checked?
I'll
in?
ask you, I track your ass.
Just because I have a record of showing up an hour at the
Oh, yeah.
airport, that I know this airport. Anyway,
I don't care.
before we get to the main event of tonight's show,
Yes.
I suppose Terry and Allison, you can weigh in on this because there's Kelsey brothers involved,
It's the Kelty Bowl.
but it's not because Jason's retired.
Excuse me.
The Super
always
Bowl
doing
this
it.
weekend.
Well, I don't know. We got maybe the biggest Eagles fan is still a Kelsey, and she's not
That's
pulling
right.
for her brother-in-law at all.
That is correct.
Philly,
She told
Philly.
him to basically go shove it.
We got Philly, and we've got the KC Chiefs looking for the only three-peat in NFL history for the Super Bowl. Patriots couldn't do it. Niners didn't do it. Cowboys didn't do it.
Bober wants to know if both teams can lose.
No, Bobes, they can't.
Nope.
But baseball season is upon us. 49 days, buddy. That's what the alternative for those of us that want both teams to lose is. Pitchers and catchers report next week.
But he's a Pirates fan, so
Yeah, I know. He's got one good player,
they
too,
got
Terry.
both teams,
You
and
can
I've
feel
got
bad
mad-
for him. It's okay.
I got mad respect for somebody that can sidearm 108 mile an hour fastball or whatever it is. That's incredible. Even if he is from LSU, wasn't he from LSU?
yes.
Brian Kelly made the top 25 current coaches list on NCAA. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Bober? Do not bait me. I've already hit the quota for tonight on the potty mouth word. Do
I
not
gotta
bait
say,
me.
I expect a three-peat. I mean, sorry,
Yeah.
Eagles fans, but I'm kind of expecting it, whether I like it or not. I saw where Travis Kelsey's like, people hate us, really? I don't know if he's
Yes, sir.
sincere
People
with
hate
that.
you because
Yes.
statistically, when you break the numbers down, because I am an analytical person, you guys get more calls than any other team in the NFL, and there are 31 others. That's why people hate you. They hate you because you have a quarterback who is protected and has assumed the Tom Brady role.
Oh, and his wife's like talking big shit too about protect my
Is she?
husband. Yeah.
I would like nothing more for Saquon Barkley to run that ball so far up the Chiefs' defense ass because they're not that good either. But they get the calls, the defensive holding, I guess it wouldn't be defensive holding, it'd be offensive holding. They get the calls that benefit them at the right time. Some people are like, well, that's luck. No. Luck happens occasionally. This happens far too often for it to just be luck. And I'm not a KC hater necessarily. Just own your shit, guys. The referees like us, we're going to get calls. That's all it is. But they all deny it, and that makes everybody hate them. So,
Yep.
Philly is my pick because I love.
I was going to say what,
and I love Saquon Barkley.
Okay, I'm picking Philly as well.
Oh, and Jalen Hurts. Because if one don't get him, Terry, the other one's going.
My decision is solely based on the fact that Jason Kelce played for the Phillies. That's it. Nothing else.
All right.
If nothing,
So did
Terry,
Randall Cunningham. So I'll give him that.
Well, if nothing, though, Allison is consistent on which Kelce she's supportive.
Oh, hell yeah. Come on. Let's get real. There is a better Kelce in this duo, and it is Jason Kelce. And you could ask pretty much. It's really funny because if you are a non-Taylor Swift fan, like not a crazy one, and I mean that in the best possible way, you also believe that Jason Kelce is the better brother. Trust me.
Not to mention, Travis has a really fucked up hairdo these days.
Oh, it's so bad. Oh.
Like, I don't know what he's trying to do. Terry, I know you don't worry about hair.
I also don't like his fashion sense.
I don't know what this man is trying to accomplish.
Have you seen some of his outfits? Like,
well, his outfits don't bother me because they're all outlandish in the NFL. But
no,
I got the one guy that doesn't wear shoes.
He showed up in sweatpants and a t-shirt, and I was like, yeah.
They can't do that anymore. They're not supposed to anyway. So that's why they call it the No Fun League. But you know what is fun, Terry? Super Bowl halftime shows. Do we have any of those?
We do, and we'll have one this year, but we're not talking about this year's show, and I don't even know who's going to be on it at this point, if I'm going to be quite honest. But
Kendrick Lamar?
Is it?
Is that right?
His name may have shown up there before because I went through a lot of history here to talk about the top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows, and thanks everybody for joining in on this fun poll.
It looked like we had a ton of opinions on this. I cannot wait to see the top 10.
I can't wait to yell at all of you for not picking New Kids on the Block. So what didn't make the top 10?
All right.
Yeah, we need to know what's the receiving votes category, Terry.
Receiving votes. We've got, you're fun with Roman numerals today. Let me just say.
Oh, Jesus,
this was
Terry.
a challenge. Super Bowl 43 from 2009, Bruce Springsteen. Clap, clap, clap.
Not on my list.
Super Bowl 49, correct me if I get these wrong, from 2015, Katy Perry with Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott. Super Bowl 40 from 06, the Rolling Stones. And Super Bowl 55, I enjoyed this one, The Weeknd.
I like The Weeknd and I like the Rolling Stones. I voted for the Rolling Stones. I did not vote for The Weeknd.
I didn't vote for any of these.
It is indeed Kendrick Lamar as the headliner for the Super Bowl.
I actually got something right. Amazing.
Well, it's music related, so there's that.
Yeah.
It's not got nothing to do with the actual football.
All right, so what's number 10?
Number 10, Super Bowl 36 from 2002, U2.
Yeah, this was good.
And I mean, U2 is a band I kind of like, but
this was also post 9/11, so it was a very America heavy.
Yeah,
and it shows the picture here shows him with the American flag inside his jacket. That's a cool touch there.
Yeah,
yeah. I thought it was fine. It didn't make my top 10, but I thought it was fine.
Right, it didn't make mine either. I mean, U2 is definitely not one of my favorite bands, but it was a good halftime show.
I will say this, Terry. One of my criteria is it's got to be a spectacle because it's the halftime show. I mean, it's got to be a spectacle.
Well, let me tell you this: there are two characters describing who was in this halftime show. Some of these are like 3 lines long, talking about all the people that piled on the stage.
Yep. Yeah, and those were the best ones.
The medleys, as they call them,
or groups with 5 guys.
Stop.
Number 9, Super
Oh, hell
Bowl
yeah.
47. It's going to take me a minute sometimes. From
Yeah,
2013, Beyonce with Destiny's Child.
This was
That
on my
was-
list.
I love this one.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was Beyonce at her. Everybody likes her solo now. I loved her with Destiny's Child. I thought they had great melody, so I really love this one.
And she's not a country singer and does not
No.
deserve the Country Music Award. Somebody take that away from her. Can we get Trump to sign an executive order? I mean, can we get him to take
I
that
mean, he
from her?
signs them for
please?
everything else. Why not?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's circumventing the democratic process. Let's just get him to take that shit away from her too.
You see the
Um,
meme saying that George Strait won the
Oh,
hip-hop
no.
album of the year this year.
That was a Dave Miller.
Oh,
meme, I'm
so
sure.
good.
Oh,
Oh,
Miller, we love you. So yes, Beyonce, Destiny's Child, good stuff. I know all the words. Don't judge me. Next, Terry.
Number 8, Justin Timberlake. He finally made it to the halftime show in Super Bowl 52.
Yeah, this isn't his most memorable halftime show.
no, it's
Is it
not. No, it's not.
The one that happened 14 years earlier is much more memorable.
I wonder if we can find a good picture of that one. More on that.
But it's JT, and JT is never bad. So just remember that.
There's a difference for sure.
Yeah.
Well, he's there are some names that have shown up multiple times,
Like
not just
Beyonce,
once or
like
twice,
Timberlake. Yeah.
3 or 4. Either they're headlining, they're part of a group headlining, or
Yeah.
they just get thrown in there, and he's one of them.
Yep.
Big fan. Love it.
Heck of a
Look
shirt
at-
he's got there.
I know, right?
That's great. I just really
But
paid
I don't
attention.
get the whole outfit. It doesn't really.
don't
Like, I'm
either.
just
I'll
like,
have to-
oh, like,
might have
I'm
to go
sorry.
look
He's
this
got
up.
this printed shirt, a printed jacket, and a
A
bandana.
bandana around his neck.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to look that up.
Mm.
All right. Number 7, Super Bowl 25 from 1991, New Kids on the Block. And it's number 7 because Allison probably voted it number 1.
I would say, who
And I
did you pay? Who did you pay for this
I don't
nonsense?
care. Look, this was exceptional for the time. Look at the date.
Who
Okay.
are those random kids back there?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if this was some special kids, like some group that's actually. We'll get a boo from Bummer.
Bummer can go suck it. This is New Kids on the Block. They deserve a place on this list. I'm very happy. Thank you
Oh.
to everybody who put a vote in, because somebody else besides me had to.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
somebody had to. I may go pull down the CSV file and do a search for.
No,
New Kids
shut
on
up!
the Block.
Don't do it. Don't ruin the mystery.
No, I don't. It doesn't have names.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
saying. Yeah.
New Kids on the Block, a one-hit wonder.
Oh my God, we are gonna fight, Mister. Move to the next one before. See, look at my girl. Amy
Our
said she
girls have
totally
let us
voted them number
down.
1. That's right, girl.
You're skewing the results, Terry. This is not a pure poll anymore.
Excuse me.
Men only next time.
I'm gonna punch you in the throat.
Number 6, Bruno
Okay.
Mars, and I love this one with Red Hot Chili Peppers from Super
So-
Bowl 48.
Good job. This
Give it
one.
away, give it away, give it away now.
This one was so good that my parents, who had no idea who either one of these guys were,
Yeah.
loved this show. That's
Yeah.
how good this was.
This was what
was
really
very
made
good.
me understand how good Bruno Mars is. as a
Correct.
singer.
Yes.
It was wonderful.
He's an incredible musician.
He is.
100%.
We got
Yeah.
another couple of those coming up on the list a little higher.
Well, yeah, this one I actually don't like Red Hot Chili Peppers like at all, but I love this show.
Be singing Under the Bridge in Tampa just for
I
you.
swear to God, I never should tell you anything.
I love.
Well, and that's the song I hate the most.
It's the one everybody knows. That's the problem.
Exactly. It's the only one they sing, and they always sing the wrong words.
Californication is also another.
All right, number 5. Let's go.
Number 5, Super
Sassy.
Bowl 35 from 2001, Aerosmith, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Mary J. Blige, Nelly.
I mean,
What a
List everybody.
crew.
come
What a
on.
crew. Britney's
I mean, it was-
face there says it all.
But it was Britney at her prime too, and NSYNC as well.
Yeah. And then Steven Tyler randomly.
Just randomly.
Steven Tyler looks like everybody's mom these days. Even if we have removed the T from LGBT, he definitely looks like everybody's mom.
I agree.
And the drummer's back there looking like he's driving a car across the country, raiding diners.
He's not driving it the way Amy drives it, though. Obeying all speed limits, using the turn signals, waving at everybody with all 5 fingers. That's Amy Bond, ladies and gentlemen, in her ventures in the road.
She kept me safe weekend when I rode with her. That's all that matters.
Number
Next.
4.
There it is.
On the picture, Super Bowl 38 from 2004. Janet Jackson, P. Diddy, Nelly, Kid Rock, Justin Timberlake, Jessica Simpson, and you only see 2 people in this shot because this was the moment that put it.
She had no idea what was going to happen, but she had the pasties on.
Yeah.
And just so you know, I made sure I could put this on YouTube. The whole damn video is on YouTube, so
Okay.
I'm not worried about a still shot.
Bober should have been number 1. Titty.
Hey,
I don't know if
that's
Justin's
good.
never seen him up to this point. Look at the look on his face. That's phenomenal right there.
Well, let's remember he was with Britney recent, like around this time, like a little bit before this, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
So he ain't used to looking at this. This was very exciting for him.
Oh, but Kid
And
Rock.
this is what this affected the delays in live broadcasts.
Correct.
Immediately after this.
Well, and
Yes.
here's the other thing that'll always be memorable. Look whose name is in there: Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Yeah. Good point. Very good point. And Kid Rock, he's another one.
Yeah, Kid Rock's thrown in there. too.
Talk about opposite end of the spectrum. And then
Random.
Jessica Simpson randomly.
Yeah.
We're on the top 3 though. What is
Yeah, we
number 3?
are.
Number 3, Michael Jackson from
Not a
Super Bowl
surprise.
27, 1993. And obviously, this is one of those that is just a fabulous singer,
I mean, it's Michael
a
Jackson.
presence.
There's a reason he's the king of pop.
That is correct.
Yeah, he
It's not
don't
really-
he don't need 10 other people on the stage with him. He's got it.
It's not really debatable.
He also didn't do a lot of things like this, which made this very special.
Right.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
2,
It's probably mine. There it is.
There it is.
Super
I
Bowl.
love this one.
56. Man, these numbers are getting big. From 2022, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem were the headliners. They had Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and 50 Cent.
He was
With some others.
actually silver dollar by that time. He looked like he'd been sucking on an air hose. He won't 50 cent no more. But
Oh,
this
this
is
was so
the
good.
best one ever. And forgive me, Prince, who's number 1. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's no way he didn't win in a runaway. This one right here, though, if you were a 90s, 2000s kid, this hits you in all the feels when
It
they
slapped
put
so
this
hard.
medley together. It was so good. So even when 50, I joke about 50 Cent, but even when he dropped down, they did the candy shop, and all of a sudden he's repelling. It's insanity. This was so good. And good thing weed was legal in California.
Yeah, I mean, between Mary J. Blige and Eminem, I was ecstatic about this one.
It's phenomenal.
I mean, Dr. Dre, obviously, but
And
That's
Terry,
fantastic.
there will be a Super Bowl champion crowned Sunday, but there is an undisputed champion of the TNA Top 10 halftime show, and it is the one and only.
Prince.
What number is
Super
that?
Bowl 41 from
Very good.
2007. Prince
Yeah.
took the stage on his own and owned it.
owned it. Wait, so I have a question. Was he
Purple
Prince
Rain.
or was he that symbol?
I don't
that
know,
time.
but I could not find the shortcut for that damn symbol, so we're calling him Prince.
Yeah, he definitely, though, this is a man who, like Dave calls it, talent on loan from God. This is that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And hell of a
Right.
basketball player if you've ever seen the Chappelle Show.
Exactly. And what's amazing, Terry, since you mentioned it, that the Chappelle Show we all grew up on, and yet somehow everybody in society today is offended. I don't understand. Anywho, Prince, Purple Rain on this show. My God. But he was only number 2 for me because the one before is number 1. Always.
My deal is he's got the presence of Michael Jackson.
Yep.
And he can play the hell out of that guitar.
100%.
And he goes up there and he owns it. And it's like Michael Jackson, Prince, and Bruno Mars all to me got on the stage by themselves and did it.
And he was a singer-songwriter.
Right.
He didn't have anybody writing his songs for him. And imagine just how beautiful Prince's mind was. The pure artist. Had some fucked up personal problems. But
he wrote
artist.
He wrote a lot of the songs we knew from the 80s and 90s. A lot. He wrote for other people too.
Yeah, very good. Very good list, Terry. You gonna run it
Write
down?
I'm gonna run it down. Number 10, U2, because I'm not doing the numbers. Number 9, Beyonce. Number 8, Justin Timberlake. Number 7, New Kids on the Block. Number 6, Bruno Mars and Red Hot Chili Peppers. Number 5, Aerosmith and NSYNC. Number 4, Janet, P. Diddy, and Justin, along with a bunch of others. Number 3, Michael Jackson. Number 2, Dre, Snoop, Eminem, and a bunch of others. And number 1, on his own, Prince.
Very good.
Phenomenal.
List. This was great.
Amazing.
This was a good one to do. I like these timely ones we do. They're fun.
That was a lot of fun. That was.
I like
really
the ones I can look up and get the options because it's just right there. Now, I'd prefer no Roman numerals next time, but
Well, and let's be honest, we've had to go vote and pare them down before we send them out.
Yeah.
This one you didn't have to do that. It's very manageable.
Yeah, I just swept away all the Up With People, and if it was like a marching band or something, I said those don't count. So we had 1988 was Chubby Checker and the Rockettes, and then they had Up With People or something, and then they kicked off like every year they had a headliner or whatever. Then New Kids on the Block.
No, that's where it started. 91.
Yeah, okay.
That's where it started. 91 with New Kids on the Block, and then it was a real halftime show after that, like musical guest. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to go see if anybody voted for Chubby Checker and the Rockettes.
My dad probably would have.
George isn't here tonight. Tell him we're disappointed. We talked about the baseball.
George was on a 10-day cruise or 11-day cruise somewhere for a while, so George was out of pocket.
Out of pocket. I'm always out of pocket, but y'all know. Y'all know. I don't have to tell you. Y'all know. This week, partner show Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave spoke with Alex Arsenal. Did a nice interview. Talked about time in BIW. Amy had all the probing questions. Super Bowl I went to had Diana Ross. Well, there you go. Nice,
cool,
voice.
Cool.
But yeah, Alex Arsenal, very well spoken, good interview. From what I saw before I had to jump on the producer. What now?
Did he put a shirt on?
Absolutely not. I know there were people confused by the fact that he didn't have his shirt on. I think he should just live that gimmick and don't put a shirt on.
Well, he was talking about underwear. Who knows if he had pants on?
He could have been naked.
He was talking about the neighborhood he was in too in the car. It's a good interview. Check out our buddies Dave and Amy on Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave. Speaking of Talking Wrestling with Pondwater Dave, thanks to him, we are all familiar with Big Time Belts. That is high quality, low prices. Dave's an elderly. Sometimes he gets that wrong. But what he didn't get wrong was the game event belt that got a picture with a young man with cancer, or not the game event belt.
No,
fantasy.
It wasn't a picture. Belt. We gave our belt to that kid.
The little kid got the belt. Okay,
yeah, he gave it to him. Timmy C won our
fantasy football.
Our fantasy football belt, and he met a young man in the hotel who was in a wheelchair, who was battling cancer, and he gifted him our belt, and we were all happy about that.
Yeah. I got the picture, and the text message did not indicate that he gave him the belt.
We had to get further info.
That's even more awesome. Like, that's even more awesome that he
That's
gave
great.
him the belt. I think
Yep.
that's fantastic. Good on Timmy. And good luck to that young boy, because cancer
Mhm.
sucks in every way, shape, and form. But because of Pondwater Dave, we know Muhammad, who runs big time belts, high quality, low prices for any occasion. Check
Correct.
him out. And thank you for making
Valentine's
that belt.
Day is coming up.
Ooh.
Buy a
God,
belt.
I don't
We
like
need a
anyone
list
enough
for
to give them a belt.
Valentine's Day.
That's mean, Andrew.
I don't like anyone enough to give him a belt.
Excuse me, I'm right here.
Well, yeah, but Frank would be jealous.
Frank can deal.
Frank can
He's
deal.
fine.
Just like Randy giving you a kiss.
Exactly. He gave me a kiss. He gave me a Hershey's kiss. He knows
Never
their
clarified.
boundaries.
Well, he's got the flu now, apparently.
Does he? I do not.
Get
oh,
better, Randy.
Yeah, I'm sick. Maybe I caught his flu.
Mm.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
But yeah, he did. I saw that he reported he had the flu. He was trying to kick it. But I also saw the Hershey kiss. So yeah. Allison stroked his mullet.
No, there's no more mullet.
He didn't grow the mullet for this
No,
one?
I was very mad at him.
Oh God.
So what's the deal with all these guys from Oklahoma getting rid of their mullets?
Well, they're like Samson losing their damn power. Mike Gundy better grow back his mullet if he expects Oklahoma State to win a football game this season.
That's right.
Not to mention Allison loves to judge it because he's got a very well put together mullet versus some of them.
I had one when I had hair back when I was 12.
Dude, I had a mullet. when
I
was
didn't even know I had one. I just kind of had one.
How 80s was Andrew? I had a mullet and MC Hammer pants. Bite me,
Oh,
bitches.
Andrew.
Well, I'm a little older, so I had parachute pants based on.
Z
I had them too.
Cavaricis. I had the knockoff Z Cavaricis. Y'all are like, what's that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God, I can't believe that. That's crazy. They were these tight-waisted pants that they were like parachute pants, but they were fabric, so they weren't so flowy. But they did this to you. They were like, "Hi, do you see my hips and my ass? Because if you don't, I'm gonna really make them framed."
Apparent.
I remember when Guest first came out, you would go up and say 140, and some chick would slap you.
My goodness.
Shit. Okay, that's bad. Woo!
My goodness, Terrence.
I know. Anything else to
Not
talk about? this week?
me. Other people would do that.
What do we got?
I don't know.
We're back.
I
next
think we got a
Thursday,
Super
right?
Bowl coming up this week.
Yep.
We got our predictions in. We're going to see
Okay.
how that goes. Talk about it next week. Talk about more wrestling next week. And between now and then, we'll come up with some kind of poll.
Yes, because for now we're on Thursdays, but that may change very soon. Offline conversation coming.
So wait a minute. I have a question.
Right here.
Okay. Well, I have a question. So Saturday is the NBA All-Star game and then the Australian AEW thing? No?
Next Saturday.
That's next Saturday. Okay. This Sunday is Super Bowl.
Correct.
Just making sure I know what's happening because I don't pay
Correct.
attention. You guys are my
I've
new.
been sharing recipes with those of you that are in the Instagram circle. Terry hasn't opened them all. Actually, I think he's caught up now. Although he did skip
pretty
a
cool.
few.
Rest.
He did
Harry,
skip
how much
a few.
time did you dedicate to
As
that?
of yesterday, I went through a lot. Yeah.
He clocked in.
Seriously, he put in the time.
He
He's
was
a good
putting in
friend.
the time. Clocked in. I mean, you guys think I send a lot. You should see the ones I don't send you.
I know. I can only imagine.
Because I love the Instagram reels, as you all
Yes.
know.
I like
Alright.
the Facebook ones, but all right.
So I
anyway.
imagine maybe, I don't know, something with candy or something for next week. Favorite types of flowers. Who knows?
Save that.
Why
for-
do we celebrate Valentine's Day, though? I am that person.
Ooh, what about worst Valentine's Day gifts?
Ooh, that could be a good one.
How do we
How-
make a options list for that?
Pregnancy test number 1.
A vacuum, number 2. A treadmill, number 3. No, treadmill's one. Treadmill's one. Sorry.
Or it reminds me of the Simpsons episode where Homer bought Marge a bowling ball with his name on it.
His name on it.
Gift
I was gonna-
card.
No, I would like a gift card. There's nothing wrong with a gift card.
Yeah, but not to the right store.
Oh, well, okay.
Just give me
All right.
money if you're doing that. So we'll come up with something. We
All right.
got some time.
But Valentine's Day, I need all of our listeners to hear me out on this. Why is it just one day that you show these people that you love so much? Just one day.
That's right.
Just one day.
Candy.
I need
Flowers.
everybody to answer that. They had the Valentine's shit out the day after Christmas here. Look.
That means I'll go through 3 or 4 rounds of getting candy and eating.
I was gonna say you're gonna get candy for the kids and then eat it, and then get
Yeah.
candy for the kids and eat it.
Mike Bober says Valentine's Day sucks. That
Well-
is an answer from the perpetually single that when we're asked, what are you doing next Friday for Valentine's Day? Oh, you mean work? Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that.
actually flying to Seattle.
Oh, for Valentine's Day. I
No.
wonder who's in Seattle.
Not for well, yes, for Valentine's Day, but it's actually our year anniversary, the week after.
Oh, congratulations.
All
I know, right? Isn't that crazy?
No.
I think I've seen him like 4 times. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. It's a joke.
It's amazing what happens when you live on
No,
separate
it's 5
coasts and
times.
don't have to see each other every day.
It's I mean, come on, it works. When it works though. And yeah, it's not what other people maybe would want, but it's what we want.
But
so-
who cares?
Unconventional
That's
doesn't
Not
exactly
anybody else.
unconventional doesn't mean bad.
Exactly. And if you've met me, you know I'm anything but conventional. So
And this is not a slight at my people.
No.
Unconventional doesn't mean bad because conventional has resulted in 53% divorce rate in this country. I'm just
I'm
saying.
just saying, right? I mean, I had a
100 for
practice
me.
wedding.
Stop it, Terry. I said it wasn't about my people. Damn. Damn, Terry. Take everything so
Lord.
personally. Have another drink. Have one on me.
Hey, I may drop that down to 50 at some point. Who knows?
Have one on me or have one because of me. Either way, Terry's getting drunk.
You got it.
I ran out. I'm dry.
He's
Oh.
dry. That means it's time to roll on out, folks. We
It
appreciate
is
it. Thank you
bedtime for this
voting.
lady. Let's
I-
go.
All
I
right. Thanks
cannot
for
tell you
hanging
how
in
much
there
we
with us,
appreciate it.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Terry. Let's wrap it up.
Thanks everybody for showing up. Anybody that's still hanging in there, looks like there's a few of you. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the votes. I do know Alex Wheaton. Shout out to you. You gave me an idea at our weekend here in Huntsville, and I'm going to have to get back with you because I don't remember what it was. But I will get with you on that. I appreciate everybody's feedback, and I'm glad that you enjoyed this list. And Bober is beating me to the punch here. As always, love your people. Tell them you love them. Make it weird. See you next time, everybody.
Bye.